Okay, so we have to do two more of the town hall or council quests. Why did I say town hall? We're gonna go with the quick one first. That's not really going to be hard, I don't think, at this point. Or maybe I'll have to eat my words, but you know, we'll see. So the Devil's Outpost. What can we do? We don't really need shield, but we're gonna use sparks, yes. We're gonna use power. We're gonna use speed. We're gonna use precision. We should use this. Death protection, sure. And then we have sparks, and you will have not sparks. What will you have? Are we just gonna go with trap metal for you? Sure, we're gonna go for one dude casting shrap metal. Okay. And you don't need to do anything really. Right. So, as you can see, this is a fairly... I want to say, like... What's the word? Oh, like, it's pretty obvious what you have to do. Is basically bust in here, kill all the devils, and get out. And I literally done it. This is it. Grab the message scroll. It's like, it's a very simple question mark. It's a very simple quest if you know what you're doing, right? Is what I want to say. However, if you're not, you know, sufficiently leveled up, it can cause some problems. I usually do this quest really early because it's actually quite easy because you can just, you know, keep resetting basically because you're near a door most of the time, right? But I did manage to do it with like what I consider the standard OP party of 1 cleric and 3 sorcerers, and they were like level 10-ish. I just used sparks and, you know, some time, I guess. But yeah, it's completely possible to do that, you know, very, very soon in the game. However, I delayed because, well, didn't really want to do that, honestly. But now it's time for us to finally delve into Gharik's Forge. And just... I said it before in my first playthrough, and I'm gonna say it again. Gharik's Forge is probably, like, in relative terms, is probably one of the hardest dungeons in the game. I know I'm, like, you might not think that, right? But hear me out. You're expected to do Gharik's Forge as one of the first, like the first 6 quests, right? You have to do Gharik's Forge for the council quests. Now the council quests include traveling around the world, you know, increasing taxes and, you know, coaches and stuff like that. And they include getting Lord Kilburn's shield, which is also a very easy task to do. I would say that, you know, combat-wise, the Devil's Outpost is the only thing that comes close, right? But it still isn't as hard as this. Like, ending winter, that is, like, super easy if you know what you're doing, right? I mean, I guess if you have to, like... hello? Hello? Can you please die? Why? How the hell are you still alive? I guess something was wrong with my, like... attacks? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Basically, as I was saying, so yeah, all of those quests, like, yes, I mean, they're sort of like supposed to be in the same rank, right? And then you get Albert Newton's quest, which is like, get me the hourglass of time, which involves basically getting through this dungeon, right? And compared to the other quests that I've mentioned, this quest is on a whole nother level. That's what I mean by, you know, relative. Sure, there are, you know, things like the Tomb of Varn and the Four Castle dungeons, etc., that you might consider, you know, harder in general. We still don't have Power Cure. We're getting Power Cure, guys. We need Power Cure. Hopefully we're gonna get Power Cure, I should say. But yeah, consider, you know, the fact that you basically need to come here, and this is sort of like considered an early game quest. Purely because, you know, you have to get here. Like so early. That's just, it's just insane, obviously. And I don't think there is, like, that's why I would consider this to be the relative hardest quest in the game, like, for sure. Keep in mind, I've also leveled up by killing dragons, right? Like, I am not under-leveled for this dungeon. If anything, I'm over-leveled. I am level 49. I can get to 51, actually. And yet, these guys are a pain. If I'm not mistaken, they're also something like immune to... they might be immune to air magic damage, like... Which makes it even more annoying, because you can't use sparks against them, but I'm not sure about that. I may be wrong about that. In any case, I'm not using sparks against them, because... Well, sparks is generally better if you have a lot of tight spaces, and in this dungeon, you don't really have a lot of those. Should we just... You know what, we're gonna cure insanity and also cure weakness. There we go. That's fine. Now, you could do this puzzle, which involves basically flicking levers and such and such. I don't actually know what the levers do. I don't actually know the solution to this puzzle because I haven't done it. Like, I think I did it the first time I played this, and ever since then I've basically realized a much simpler solution, because you need to get to the, what is that, the northeastern door on the upper floor. Upper northeastern door is basically where you need to go, right? And it's open by default, luckily. And you're supposed to find the correct combination for you to A, have the bridge over that side, B, have this door open, and C, have this door opened. Basically, you need to be able to get here, right? And across it. Well, I'm going to show you the much easier way of doing it. I'm just going to quick save right now. The spell jump. There we go. Done. This is also my suggestion on how you should do this, because figuring out that puzzle is just annoying. For some reason, I can never get it right. This is why I said that sparks isn't really going to be very useful here. If I had, like, shrapnel on, I guess, both my characters, then maybe I would have, or both my characters. Basically, I mean my sorcerer and my cleric, but I only have one. If I had it on both of them, I would probably have used shrapnel, because that might be, you know, a better thing to use. Or it might, you know, outweigh the insane damage that's going to be coming from these warlocks, but... My god. Don't. Let's use shared life. Okay. Right, so one thing that you have to know before you go into this dungeon, what am I doing? The secret is over here. Right, so the one thing that you have to know before you go into this dungeon is that you actually need to get this key, the key to Gharik's laboratory. And you actually get that in the Islands of Mist, in the Silver Helm Outpost. So yes, you could say that, you know, you don't actually need to come here before that. But fact is, it's still a very hard dungeon to do, even considering that you have to do like a dungeon before it. It's just, I don't know, man. I have choice words. And you basically need the key, if I'm not mistaken, for this door right here. It might be this one? Yes, it is exactly this one. So this is the door where you need to use the key. I'm going to do Lloyd's Beacon here. And I do not have a Lloyd's Beacon to Castle Iron Fist, but I'm gonna go to New Sorpigal. I'm going to quickly heal up. I'm gonna go for Heroism and Bless. I don't really like need anything else, or not much else is useful. I might just get, you know, these things, but all in all, okay. So the problem with these guys is, as you can see, they make me go insane in more ways than one. But they also kind of don't really want to get over here. Oh my god. Okay, let's use a power cure just to get Serena back. And then shared life is going to be much better to use than power cure, but I'm still going to use power cure with Roderick just a bit. Terrible dungeon. Terrible, terrible, terrible dungeon. Like, this really is one of the hardest dungeons in the game. Just because, well, these guys are insane. Whew. You barely made it. As you can see, all my characters are insane, and that is precisely the reason why I am teleporting out. I'm not resting, because, you know, usually I'm gonna run out of mana anyway. Okay, I did manage to get one. There really isn't, you know, a good spell that I can use to get rid of them easier. It's just, you know, shoot them with your normal bows. And for some reason, they don't seem to be shooting as much, I don't think. Oh. Okay, power cure. Shared life, then power cure all the way. I cannot imagine how, like, what went into building this dungeon, and people just said, like, yeah, man, this is fine. There's a few dungeons like this in Might and Magic 6, I'll admit. But I feel like Gharik's Forge is the worst offender for, you know, in the early game. Like, off the top of my head, there isn't a dungeon that I loathe more. I mean, sure, there are optional dungeons later on that are quite annoying. And let's not forget things like, you Ye old Castle Darkmoor, right? Like, I'm not forgetting that one bit, but Castle Darkmoor is like later, right? Whereas this is like now. Oh god. Oh, they're above this place. Just die. Oh, I forgot. Like, I should have went for protection from fire, of course. Can't believe I forgot that. That's on me. Like, I could have avoided some damage if I went for protection from fire. It still wouldn't have made, you know, the dungeon easy, but it would have made it more manageable, I guess. What? How the hell did you get damaged so much? Okay. Ugh. Okay, this is all fine. I'm just gonna leave everybody insane. How much spell points do you have? How much is divine intervention? 70. That's fine. We're gonna go for this. There we go. And I think, yes, the belt of mana broke. One bad thing about Might and Magic 6 is the way that the inventory, or the dolls rather, work. Sometimes you can actually miss stuff. You have Igraine, but I don't know if Igraine is right for you. I think I'm gonna give Igraine to Roderick because he is going to be our... He's probably gonna be using Spirit, Mind, Body magic more than Serena is. Quite soon. But at the moment, you know, that's fine. Serena's still sort of our primary healer at the moment. Do the protection. Do this. Do torchlight. Okay, that's fine. Do the basic buffs. Just do the basic buffs. Oh my god, there's so many of them. But, you know, fire spirits and fire elementals, sure, I can handle these. The bigger problem are those weird, well, not weird, but the warlocks. Can I use... let's use Size Bolt. That wasn't terribly effective, I would like to say. And if I use Lightning Bolt, that's a bit better. Trying to figure out whether it's better for me to use my bows or my spells. And I guess spells are actually a bit better. Okay, let's do Power Cure. Oh, actually we could do Divine Intervention. God, everything's broken. I hate this place. Oh my god. It is literally oh my god. It's why? Why is this a mechanic that every single thing gets broken? I accidentally gave something to Serena there. It's fine. Intellect and the Ring of Magic? Oh no, she identified something else, I guess. Okay. Oh my god. like, it's tough, right? It's tough having to do these dungeons because, but this is the problem. This is what's gonna happen in pretty much every single dungeon that we will go to from this point onwards, right? It literally will be me having to fix my items like 70% of the time. Okay. Just keep breaking my stuff. And there's 3 more fire elementals here. Let me see if I can get like a better positioning at least. Okay, let's go for Divine Intervention. Divine Intervention, by the way, I haven't mentioned this in the previous video, but Divine Intervention will age Serena by 1 year? Possibly 10? 10 years, probably. Because I don't think I've cast 120 Divine Intervention. But I probably cast 12 of them. Okay. Finally, now all this for 2 piles of gold and the Club of the Gods. I swear to God, this is... I think this is like a joke weapon, by the way. I mean, it has to be, right? I cannot imagine it being anything else. Useless crystal. Okay. So if you have a higher amount of, or a higher skill in perception, there's a higher chance that you will actually find useful crystals in this place. Well, we're nearly there, guys. What the? Oh. Probably above me, right? No? Oh, there he is. He was above me, most likely. Oh yeah! Yeah, flyers. Screw them. It's another thing I forgot. Flyers inside the dungeons in Might and Magic 6. They just don't work. Or like, they do work. They work very well, you know, for them, but when you have to kill flyers in Might and Magic 6 inside of dungeons, that's just a horrible thing. Oh god, thank god I got past this dungeon. Oh, I was not far enough? That's weird. That's a good weapon. That's a decent axe. Okay, that's fine. I'm fine with that. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, that's a good bow. And this is what we had to bring, like the Hourglass of Time. That is the only reason that we were here. Does anybody actually need this? Armor hit points? Sure. No. Actually, no. Unfortunately, like the stats on that bow just weren't there. Sorry, I noticed this when I am recording. When I'm doing like play-by-plays, in the sense that, you know, I am trying to comment as I'm playing this game, or any game really, I sometimes get really like lost in thought. And it's really weird because I start saying something and then you have to wait for like 10 seconds before I finish my sentence. So I'm trying to be very mindful of that, but it just doesn't really work a lot of the time. But in any case, that finishes this quest, I guess. And yeah, that's... I'm not going back there. Like, period. This is the last time... The first, last, and only time I'm gonna go into Gharik's Forge. Like, Gharik's Forge is just one of those dungeons that you don't come back to, because... Like, why? It's annoying, it's hard, it's tough, it's difficult, and it doesn't really give you anything. In terms of loot. I mean, it did give us the axe, I guess, but that doesn't really outweigh the whole thing, honestly. Okay, since we're here... Or since we're here, it doesn't really matter that we're here. We don't actually want to be here. But, since we finished the dungeon... Let's go train first.